Did you know that expenses that we generate in hospitals from paying staff to perform services, or what we call labor spend, is far and away the largest and the most controllable expense in the whole healthcare setting? Perhaps unsurprising, hospitals without subsidies don't make it very far without intentional and targeted focus on managing labor spend. So, how do organizations manage labor? Well, high-performing organizations usually select an individual to be responsible for labor performance. Commonly, they refer to this person as a chief staffing officer. Well, what is a chief staffing officer, or CSO for short? CSO is a designation that identifies a point person for productivity support, like department leader education, and department leader accountability, like biweekly target setting, for performance. CSOs may be fully dedicated in a large hospital system, or more commonly, in an other duties as assigned role in smaller systems or standalone hospitals. In reality, of course, almost everyone is a CSO in their own right. On paper, unit leaders are the CSOs of their departments as they work to achieve their goals. That said, a system or hospital chief staffing officer is responsible for facilitating collective performance, which requires both a thoughtful strategic approach as well as the ability to influence change, specifically in areas that do not directly report to them. While it's a bit counterintuitive, chief staffing officers are rarely, if ever, a C-suite level position. That chief notation is intended to elevate this individual's leadership level so that it's really clear that all of us are accountable to this person on the topic of staffing. This CSO is committed to understanding operations, learning constantly, and always maintains a very close partnership with the finance department, particularly when it comes to budget activities. CSOs are accountable to the highest level of the organization with respect to labor expense. Now, to be candid, Chief Staffing Officer is not exactly the easiest job in hospital administration. While the work is of course important and incredibly impactful to the organization's success, the work ultimately influences how many hours we use and how much money is paid, so on occasion, the job gets a little, intense. That said, experienced CSOs are capable of building and maintaining relationships while holding a colleague accountable to organizational goals. Crucial conversations aside, labor management can get a little technically complex, and it requires an understanding of finance and clinical guidelines. It also requires us to understand the unique operations of each department. CSOs should be ready, willing, and able to partner with departments in which they have little or no experience. Do you know who's responsible for labor in your organization? If a name doesn't automatically come to mind for you, you can check with your finance team. However, if you are the Chief Staffing Officer, we'd love to connect with you. Much of our content has been created with you in mind, based on our own experience as Chief Staffing Officers. Both the education and the tools that we have would have really helped out, especially our Chief Staffing Officer Bootcamp that's intended to cover all of the basics you need to succeed as a new CSO. If you couldn't tell, we are very passionate about supporting this work. Check out our website for course offerings and other materials to support Chief Staffing Officer success.